And welcome back. Again, I'm Linda Bennett, your spiritual counselor and psychic host for Metaphysically Speaking. And we are on WTMY 1280 AM and your computer. So, I started the program by saying there have been studies showing that fewer and fewer people are going to their religious facilities. And what was interesting is Jim Bakker's son, Jim Jr., was being interviewed on this program, and he's got a ministry in New York City. And he is writing a book about people who are reflecting on the possibility that there might not be a God. And he's filled with doubt himself. And it's his philosophy that sometimes doubters are the best people in their religions. Well, I say, not their religions and spirituality, because remember, there is a gigantic difference. Religion is man-made. It is the idea of your tribe, of your region. It's their philosophy. The guy with the biggest stick is the one who makes the rules. And sadly, in this last 14,000 years, it's been men who have been running things. Is it a coincidence that women are considered lesser beings, even though we bring life into the world? Is it a coincidence that women are constantly targeted for beatings, trading, slavery? If I were in the market to be married at this point of my life, I would say no, run. Women have to start standing up for themselves. Nowhere in the universe is it okay to punish somebody for being the opposite sex. So religion is man-made based upon the traditions or customs of a particular area, and spirituality is universal. That is from God. So Jim, be interested in reading the book when it comes out. He didn't have a publishing date. He wasn't finished writing it. But he said that he himself has doubted the existence of God. And if you're a person who doesn't really understand spirituality and you read the newspapers every day, anyone can turn into an atheist thinking, oh, God let this accident happen. Why did God let this flood happen? Why did God let this storm? Why did God let the levees break? Why did God do this? God didn't do that. We did. The people who built the levees didn't do it right. God didn't make them do it wrong. Humans did it wrong. Global warming is causing catastrophes everywhere, but also we live on a living, breathing planet. The planet has volcanoes, it has earthquakes, it has storms, it has areas that dry up because the vegetation is destroyed, so it becomes a desert. Humans did that. God didn't do that. God doesn't run around saying you're rich, you're poor, you're wealthy, you're living an extravagant life, you're not. You're healthy, you're sick. It's the genetics, it's the behavior, it's the environment that you're in, and it's your attitude. So people are turning to their religions and asking questions, like Jim Bakker's son is asking questions. And he reminded everyone that Jesus said, theoretically, to God on the cross, why have you forsaken me? I don't believe Jesus said that because Jesus knew full well what was going to happen in his life, as did his mother and father and grandparents and uncles and aunts and cousins and brothers and sisters, etc. So he knew full well why this was happening. And we have already discussed on various other shows the fact that Jesus lost consciousness. Crucifying somebody is a nightmare from hell. But they made plans to take care of him afterwards. And we talked about that on the Christmas show, and we can talk about it again this coming Christmas, but I don't want to keep belaboring the same points. Because I want to keep talking about the fact that people are leaving religions and doing research and talking to people in other cultures. Like what's happening with Tibet. The Chinese have been dragged into Tibet to overpopulate. And what's happening is the young people are making inquiries of the Tibetan people and of Buddhist monks. And they're studying Buddhism. And they're bringing that back to China. And now throughout China, wherever these people are from and have returned to, they have their Buddhist meditation groups. And suddenly, Buddhism is becoming popular again in China. I don't think China had that part of the plan. I think they wanted communism to be spread throughout Tibet. And in some cases it's working, in other cases it's not. People are practicing Buddhism quietly. And all you need is yourself. You don't even need a picture or a statue of Buddha. You just need to focus and ask for blessings. The same thing if you want to follow Jesus. Ask Jesus or Mary or his poor left out father Joseph for special blessings or for guidance or for information so that you can do a better job with your life or to help someone else or to help other people out in a situation. No prayer goes unacknowledged. In your New Testament it says, "My Father sees every sparrow. No sparrow falls without my Father knowing." That's the direct quote. Meaning that everything that happens is noticed in the universe, at least by angels. And mostly by angels. And if it's more important than you think it is, it'll go up to the archangels that deal with that particular issue. So, yes, there is a hierarchy in the universe. No angel is more important than any other angel or any fairy or any vegetable kingdom, but it's their job. It's how God created things. We can't sprout wings and fly, not on this planet, but we do what we do. And every form of life has its job. And its job is to help every other form of life. So people are checking the internet, checking the libraries, asking questions of their neighbors, going to visiting religious ceremonies to see what that particular religion has to offer. Because they are less interested in rules and regulations and telling me what to do with my uterus than they are in learning about what brought everything together. Where did it come from? What does it mean? Why is it here? Why are they here? And you don't find that in your Bible or your Quran. All you get told is, well, God knows. You'll find out someday God knows. Well, that's not an answer. We don't know. Yes, we do. Well, we don't understand death. Well, many of us who've already died and come back, we understand it quite well. And religions like Hinduism and Buddhism and Orthodox Jews and Hopis and the Druids and the Kabbalists, who are part of the Orthodox Jewish organization that study reincarnation, the Jains, and they are a faction of Hinduism, and they harm nothing. They will not harm